How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. So obviously the last few days have been a little bit crazy in the crypto market, but what I do want to do is actually go over one of the calls I made on MATIC and kind of where I said our price target was. So if you see this green line here, I said that would be a great point to start taking some profits. I said that about here somewhere where we were kind of really running up. We had just broken out of this fib level, which was some previous kind of resistance. You see it back here, and then obviously here as well. I was saying, all right, 283 is about the range where I would suggest taking some profits. So hopefully you did that, because we actually had a big rejection here, because the reason I said that is because that was the previous all-time high, right? So we broke the previous all-time high, but the market in general hasn't had enough momentum to really blast through that necessarily. So we did that, and now we've gotten rejected, and we've actually come back down and perfectly tested the 20 moving average, which is great. That's awesome. You see we've hit it twice now, and we're starting to get some strength off of it. And the other benefit is our RSI has been kind of chilling at 54. So even just going back to here, we were at this point when we were at the same RSI level. So we had a pretty big surge. We had enough strength at that RSI level to surge up approximately 40%. Obviously that's insane. So what we're seeing here is potential price discovery and everything with MATIC. We just know also, like, just the news and everything happening around this asset here is just insane. It's wild. And so we expect it to continue into 2022 and potentially beyond that as well, obviously, assuming it all goes well. Maybe 2022 is the year of ZK rollups, as 2021 was for NFTs. And interestingly enough, 2021 was almost just a year complete of consolidation. I mean, mostly for Bitcoin in a sense, because, like, if we look at Bitcoin here, right? So if we go back to the beginning of the year of 2021, so right here, right? So we had a pretty decent surge following, the new year, right? So we went up here, but we've been consolidating pretty much since February, right? So this high in February, this could all just be consolidation. This whole thing here, just a big consolidation moment, right? Because our average is somewhere along here, like in this range. This is probably our average, somewhere like this. So obviously we've had moments above it, below it, and above it, and now we're back in it once again. So hopefully we break out of this range at some point. But that's kind of what I've noticed anyways with Bitcoin. Obviously that's hard to tell earlier in the year because we don't have as much data, but it seems like it's just a big consolidation for Bitcoin and Ethereum mostly. But for MATIC, obviously, we've had quite a good year where, after May, our high in May, we had a huge run up April, May, big pullback into July, and then we've had a pretty steady increase actually since then. It's been one of the healthier altcoins. In my opinion anyways, because this is a great looking chart. So what I'm curious to see here is, maybe we get something like this, where we have a bull forming. We could have a pullback of something, right? Cup and handle potentially, and that could give us an enormous price target upwards of, I think it's in the $5 range, $4 or $5 range anyways. Which is certainly possible. So yeah, that puts us at 468 as a potential target. That's also assuming a cup and handle plays out or even begins to form. It may or may not happen. We might see another big long pullback. We might see some consolidation here, but we'll see kind of what happens. I do really like the fact that we're holding some strong support here on the 20. Obviously, we're gonna have to see Bitcoin's the leader here, so we're gonna have to follow the leader, see what Bitcoin does. But ultimately, I think MATIC is in a good position. If we start to lose some of these levels, I would not be too afraid to kind of load up my bags a bit. Especially as we start to break the 20 and hit the 50 moving average. you can kind of see those times that we've hit it, like back here. We've then gone up back here. We've then gone up. We haven't often hit the 100 or even the 200. Obviously those are this moment here and this moment here, which are the two bottoms. So if we ever hit the 200 again, I would certainly load up on that. And anything in here between the red and the orange line is considered like a big buy, in my opinion. Because I think MATIC is primed to be one of the potential like altcoins that's going to last any sort of bear market. And additionally, people got to remember that it's not 2017, it's not 2013 anymore. It is 2021, about to be 2022. In about a day or so. So we're not going to be exactly like we were a few years ago. It's going to be close. And with that, we're going to have new things, new patterns, new breakouts, stuff like that. So not everything is going to just be exactly the same as it was a few years ago. Just keep in mind, like, now we have institutional investors are like the majority holders here, where retail investors are not. So there's just like so many things that needs to be considered here with this type of market. Eventually, like, the crypto market will function like the stock market does, where there will be less volatility. The price discovery will be kind of figured out. Like, everything will have its fair value and everything, like, for the most part anyways. I'm rambling. This is what I think about MATIC. I think it is going to be one that can last through any sort of major bear market. I don't necessarily think we're going to have a major bear market, but I do think there's going to be buying opportunities in the future for MATIC. I would not necessarily suggest it at the moment. I would see what happens here. If we can get some purchases along the 50 here, I would do that. So anything in the $2 range, like right about here, right? So along the 50 or along this fib level, right? 0.786. So that seems like a pretty good purchase point at the moment, at least as a way to potentially give yourself a launch pad. This could be a large level for us to retest, and then from there, because you see we've had some previous support and resistance here quite a few times, so that would actually be a great moment to pull up, bump our head here on the previous all-time high, come back and retest this, and then blast off. That's all potential for that. So that is my potential moment to consider loading my bags a bit more at about the $2 range, but we will see what happens. Like I said, follow Bitcoin, follow the leader, and otherwise we will catch you guys next time, and Happy New Year. Peace.